Well, speaking of photographs, what do you do when you got a shitload of photographs? You're getting older, and your partner has really nothing to do with your own family from the past. What do you do with all this stuff? Honestly, do you get a can of gasoline and burn them? What do you really do with it? Now, of course, out of respect, your partner may, oh, let's just keep them. Then I'll say, well, I don't know, keep them for what? No one's going to inherit the photographs, whether they're personal photographs or family. And as I was sifting through my box here, and I was going to organize it, I said, fuck it, I'm not going to organize it, I'm just going to throw these back in the box. Back in the box. Oh, this is nothing. But yeah, you could look back, and certainly you could do that. Sorry, I hit something here. For what? I mean, no, seriously. For what purpose, really? What is the purpose? Nobody's around to give a shit. Here's a great photograph. Me and my daughter in Hawaii, and that's where we were just vacationing. Hey, that's me. What do you do with all these photographs? And, it really dawned upon me when I was bringing all this shit up about photos and everything else. What do you do? What do you do with photographs? You're getting older. And when you think about this, even whether they're old girlfriends, you know, what do you do? As this one here, a Filipina. Now, it's kind of a different story if you had family members that gave a shit. These are all great and fine if you have a lot of children and maybe they just want to keep it, girlfriends. There's lots of that kind of shit here. And I'm just kind of, while I was deciding to organize the photographs, and as I'm speaking, I'm actually doing this thing right now, but about to give up on it. What do you do? Well, good example, my girlfriend doesn't give a shit about old photographs of me and girlfriends I had. And rightfully, why shouldn't she? She may want to save different photographs of me. Sure. I'm sure she'll do that. But like I told her, I said, I'm going through all this. Why does she want old photographs of girlfriends? Especially Filipino ones. Yeah. I don't know. That is a good question. What would you do? You don't have much of a family left when you think about it. And your present family is in another country. That's an excellent question. What the hell do you do with all this shit? So you get this box, and you put all your photographs in a box. Okay, for preservation, for future, I don't know, future what? It's a definitely good question. As I'm kind of sifting through, even pictures of my old dogs I used to have that were very dear to me. Wow, I'm just going through this stuff and I'm saying, holy shit, that is a lot of photographs. Best dad in the world. Yeah. Okay. And, truth is, I have no clue except to put them back in the box. And for what? I'm not really sure. Pardon me, because I'm kind of multitasking at the moment here. Some of my own personal photographs I've taken through the years. And some of them are pretty damn cool. But I'm not going to display them anywhere. Alaska, working in Alaska. So, maybe I'm just trying to convince myself the reality that life just goes on, and what may have been important at some time kind of doesn't seem that important anymore. Damn. Look at this stuff. Holy crapola. On a cracker. Oh, the Ida Bill, so let me go on that again. Okay, I'm going to get to these photographs later on. Oh, who gives a fuck? If he drops dead, I don't give a fuck. I'm at that point I didn't want to hear about this fucking guy anymore. And you won't have to, and I'll tell you why at some point. I'll tell you now. It's pretty much over with him. I know his destiny, and I think he knows it too. There's no words you can put out there that's gonna hurt my feelings. Just let the shit go where the fuck it's gonna go. That's what I say. Let it go, take its course. And whatever is meant to be, will be. God, not to mention some of the paperwork I have here too. I got medical things like that, divorce papers, this, that. Pretty much organized in folders, but birth certificate, baptismal, all that shit. But for all this miscellaneous stuff, documentary video I made on Hawaii, Jesus, some incredible personal photographs, incredible. What the fuck do you do? Family photographs, like your child and dogs. You know, let's face it, it's just gonna lay there in a box. And I told her, I said, you know, if you have to, just burn the shit out of it. Now you would think, well, maybe give some photographs to your daughter, family photographs. Well, she probably doesn't give a fuck, so that kind of explains that part. And most of the family pretty much has passed away. So, and that's why I really don't have a lot of this shit on my walls. Because in the future, it's probably be taken down, other than photographs of myself that my girlfriend may want to keep and put some more things on the wall and stuff, but I just can't see the significance of any other bodies of work that I have. And that's just a good topic because, you know, we're getting older, and then you move to a different country. Then you think to yourself, man, look at all these photographs I have. Who's going to benefit from this? I was thinking of just fucking, as far as, I'm as good a capitalist as anybody else. You know, go back on eBay or something here, entire whatever collection, whatever I got left of, especially the Edith Beale shit, and there's always collectors for that. This is all leftover stuff that I have the absolute right to, and personal photographs and stuff like that. And I got still like 150 or so negatives that have never been published of the same nature or person, despite the sale of negatives I had in the past, which they thought were all the negatives, but it wasn't. I just sold a certain amount. No, that's all I did. Pavia left his pictures behind. Daisy burnt it all. Well, I don't know what she did with them. It's really her own doing. I wouldn't feel insulted if she threw gasoline on this shit and burnt it later on. It's just taking up space. Get me wrong, keep some pictures of us together, that kind of stuff, and keep some older pictures of myself, things like that. But I just don't see the whole purpose. So it always makes me think, because I was sorting through my pictures the other day and I was showing some pictures online here, and as I still left the pile, the pile in my other room, and was very slowly kind of sifting through these photographs. It was kind of cool in a way because I was going through down memory lane with this. There's one thing about photographs that, well, as long as you're alive anyway, you could always look back through your own eyes, way back in the past, and re-experience that time that you were taking that photograph of who and what. You get the picture, right? Get it? Picture? Yeah, it might have some significance, looking back. But you could never go back to the past. That's the whole thing. You could record your past, but you can't go back to it. I mean, look at all the stars that lost tons of personal photographs in the fires in California. And not just the stars, everyone. You know, pictures of them growing up as a kid, videos, everything. That was at loss. And fuck the stars. I mean, this was everyone. No precedence for the stars. That's a loss. But it's only a loss if you got somebody to turn over these photographs to upon your existing in this life anymore. I could see that, but I just can't really see it when you really don't. Now I haven't heard from my uncle. That's another rarity. Something could have happened. I can't get through. We talk about once a week or so. It's always a pleasure talking to him and vice versa. I've learned a lot from him too, and I'm glad. I learned a lot about my dad and other things I never knew about. Yeah, you take those memories with you, and if, for which you don't remember, somebody will remind you. Um, and I learned a few things about my uncle himself I never knew. I learned a lot of things about my dad I didn't know. Really interesting shit. But like they say, you can't take it with you, so what do you do with it? That's really a, I don't know, a subjective rather than really objective issue, really. Because I don't know. So as I sift through all these photographs, sometimes you say, think of the good times, the good times. And a lot of them were. Some of them were not. But still, you got that pile. So I don't have any choice but to put them back in the container and just leave it there and just say to my significant other, hey, do what you want with them. I won't feel bad. I'll be dead. I mean, you do what you want with them. Keep any photographs of us, of course, but damn, she's got plenty of them. Oh, God. Could fill up 3 galleries. I mean, we got a lot of photographs together, and of course of herself. You know, Filipinos with selfies, that's like breathing air, you know, breathing oxygen. You know they're going to have a lot of that. But, women like to remember themselves when they were younger and preserve time. But that's the one thing cool about photography, anyway. The cool thing about photography is when you create a photograph, somebody could look at this and they're basically looking through your eyes. You could be long gone, maybe it's just got the memory, but you are literally, not figuratively, really, actually. Well, it's more figuratively, but looking through the eyes of the photographer or artist. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're actually going back in time in a frozen moment in time. That's pretty cool. And that's why I've always liked photography because that's exactly, you're seeing things that will never be the same again, that you can never replace. You never experience that moment again. That's what's so cool. But you have to face the facts of reality that nothing's ever the same. And since you can't take it with you, you got to make some decisions. I think at some point, I think I need to do that. Just for example, I got to do a power of attorney. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. For example, things that you should include is a medical directive of some sort. If you're in a coma or something, you're not going to come out of it. Don't, just fucking pull the fucking plug. Things like that. You got to make it known because without these certificates, you have to make your wife or partner have a power of attorney. That's really important because she can make decisions for you. And if you became really disabled, you couldn't even go to immigration to renew something, she might be able to do that for you and other things and having to do with medical issues and so forth. Picking up prescriptions, I don't care what it is, but I think a medical directive is really important, and I think a power of attorney, it costs about 1,000 pesos. You go there, if you're living in the Philippines, you're with a Filipina, it's not a hard thing to do. I got local offices here, attorneys. I know they charge probably about 1,000 pesos, but do a power of attorney. This way, something happens to you, she, without a lot of problems, can make certain decisions for you that maybe, whatever your situation might be, that normally you would not be able to do. So a power of attorney, I think, is really important. So I'm putting that in on my checklist here. And I'm been procrastinating with it, but I don't want to procrastinate because, truthfully, if you found yourself in a medical condition, let's say you had cancer and you're just dying of pain and you just can't take it, you just want to go, fuck this shit, right? Tell them, no more treatment. Pull the fucking plug. Die in peace and that kind of thing. We don't like to think about this, but it's actually something that you really should think about. The medical directive. I forgot the exact name of it, but it's basically a medical directive. Or again, the power of attorney. This way, when it comes to legal documents, your partner will have the right to sign off on things, legal or otherwise, and be able to get it taken care of. I think that's really important. But getting back to the photographs, yeah, that's a real hard decision to make. Unless you live in a family, you're in America, and you have your relatives there, they could inherit if you have anybody's left or living. They could always take these photographs, or if you're living in the same house, you could leave the photographs up there. Family, everybody has, family photographs plastered all over the walls. A lot of people do that, some don't. You leave it up to the family relatives. Should I leave them up for memory? What happens if they die? What happens to those photographs? So yeah, I guess that's something that you really have to think about. So, you gotta get, yeah, you got food on the table. So think about that yourselves, guys. And try also not to be so concerned with all the drama on here. Seriously, go on with your own life because your life is worth more than any goon on YouTube, including myself. Seriously, I mean, don't dwell on shit that don't make any fucking sense at all. that doesn't have anything to do with your own life. It's not going to put food on your table. Concentrate on your life while you got it, because we know we had a few people on here kick off that didn't expect it. It happens just like that. So, again, medical directives, power of attorney, and things like that. And I think that's a sensible thing to do, because we don't know how long we're going to live. None of us do. Unless you have a serious health condition, you've already been told you're terminal, then, well, that's a different story. You know, you'll know pretty much that your time is up in a matter of weeks, months, or whatever. Then you could do something in regards to that. But some people don't have that choice. They die suddenly, and okay, did you leave a medical directive? Did you leave a power of attorney for anything? That she, your partner, wife, can make these decisions in regards to you if you're incapacitated, if you're comatose, if you're whatever the situation may be. Think about it. I think that's really important to do. Viking says, oh yeah, Fazio left his pictures behind. Daisy burnt it all. I don't know whether Daisy did that or not. I don't think she'd do that. So well, if anything, I don't know. Maybe Brevis took everything. Remember, Brevis was up there scrounging around to find anything he could bring home. You could bet your bottom peso that Brevis took Fazio's personal diary, because he was looking at it. He was reading it on his fucking video. How callous and, you know, unscrupulous can you be? That was, whether you liked Fazio or not, that was some highly personal shit that maybe only Daisy should have kept. I'll bet you that he took it. I'll bet you he took it. Knowing this guy, I'll bet you he took it. I would not be surprised. Okay, what are we having? Okay. Ooh. I see carbs. Look at her eye. What is with her eye? This dog. It's actually, her pigmentation is actually spreading down. I don't know. She has this eye problem, the dog, and has this called hyperpigmentation. It seems to be spreading. Anyway, so I got to say, guys, get a medical directive and get a power of attorney.